But that isn't immediate. You have to go through so much in the court system to even get to that point. Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
There's 2, 4, 7 of us at this table.
How many here?
And
who has
3
kids? Who here has attempted to get child support from anybody?
We were the children that needed to be supported. There's 3 out of 7. That's half of your table.
That needed child support.
That didn't get
it.
Yeah.
Did
That's
your
exactly
parents?
What we're saying.
Yeah, my mom went through the court system. It
Yeah.
took her about like 3 years, and it was for me and my twin sister.
Okay.
My
And
parents.
so what? Tell us exactly what happened in the court system.
I know when it happened, I was really young, but like I think that's like the whole application, and then they have to find out where they live or some stuff like that, and they have to get their current address. Especially, it's a lot harder when the person that left, woman or dad, whatever. It's also harder when they live in a different state and getting a hold of them and such, and all that. So like that's how my dad got away with it, because he moved around a lot.
Okay,
to stay away from it.
It was a similar circumstance. He moved to New Mexico, and they weren't able to track him down until a year ago when he moved back to Arizona and got a job that he was paying taxes on. So they started taking it out of the paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
A job that's not like easily traceable is harder to find. My dad, the same thing. My parents
10
had
years
like a
got away with it.
32 court appearance custody battle over me, so that takes years.
So there was an ongoing custody.
He wanted to get custody.
He wanted partial custody, but he didn't.
And your mum wanted him to have no custody?
No, my mom wanted to give him partial custody, but she wanted him to have evidence of like a stable job or like a stable living situation.
Otherwise, he would have no custody?
Or she didn't want him to have no custody. She wanted him to have like monitored visitation, so that I wasn't in a situation that was unsafe.
Was he an unsafe man?
Wait,
Yes.
Who was the breadwinner?
My mom.
Who earned more?
My mom.
So in what scenario, if custody was going to be split, would the person who's earning less money pay child support to the parent who's making more money? Did your mom pay child support to him so that he could
hold on with him?
Hold on.
Okay.
You weren't with him because she wanted to withhold custody because he wasn't financially capable, even though she was the breadwinner, and she could have been paying him child support, so that in the same way that a lot of women face this scenario where they don't have financial resources and they seek the man to bolster their own resources so that they can raise the child, your mother ought to have been paying child support to your father so that he did have that safe home and have the resources to raise you. As the breadwinner, that would have been justified.
Not with an unsafe man.
That's not
Absolutely not.
Well, now you're adding another layer to it.
No, but
I said that to begin with.
Okay, so he was physically abusive.
Right.
Okay. Well, I mean, goes
what
beyond.
She had wanted was not no custody. She just wanted him to have a safe area because he didn't have a home that was stable, and she didn't want me to be in an unsafe area. He lived in a different state once they got divorced, and so she wasn't going to just send me at 4 years old to a different state to go visit him with no parameters to make it a safe situation for her child.
How long were they married for?
Before me, or like in general?
Yeah, before you.
2 years before me, and then a year or 2 years. I was 2 when the divorce finalized. They separated when I was 1.5.
When did the physical violence start?
Immediately.
When
I was a year and a half. 2.
It started after you were born?
With me, the physical violence with me.
Do you remember any of this?
Yes, of course. I mean,
when you were 1 or 2 years old?
No, I remembered the court situation and all of the custody things because that happened for years.
Wait, you remember the court situation or the violence?
No, the court situation.
You said you remembered the violence.
Okay, then I misspoke. I said the court situation. They went through a very long custody battle after they filed for divorce to get custody of me. My mom wanted to have me in a safe area so that I still had a relationship with my dad, but that I wasn't unsafe.
And so what was she asserting?
I think it's the bare minimum.
What was she asserting about his conduct? Was he striking her?
No, it was me. I just said that.
He was hitting you.
I don't think we need to go in the specifics of it. It was a physical altercation, and it was with me.
Like he was hitting you.
I just said twice. We don't have to get into.
I don't need, but it was violence, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So
if you have a 2-year-old that is happening to, would you want them in that unsafe situation?
Look, I don't know the details of it. What I do know that is very common in custody disputes, and this is more so something that women do, is they will manufacture either claim that the male parent is either
Well, if there's
physically
doctors things showing and there's photos, then obviously not.
maybe that's the case.
It is true. I do have friends that the man, you know, he goes through custody battles all the time because his ex-wife is, you know, saying things that happen to
I've
the
seen
kid.
it a million times as well.
Yeah.
But a lot.
Look,
So it doesn't mean that
we don't know.
invalidates all of them.
I never
sure.
said that. I've just saying it does happen.
Was he ever physically violent
Okay,
towards
so-
your mom? Look,
I'm done
if you
with
don't want to
this.
talk about it, I understand. It does seem uncharacteristic, though, for physical violence to be directed at a child, but not a spouse. I don't know the details. A lot of people in a custody dispute say things.
This was absolutely not a fabricated thing,
Okay.
if that's what you're trying to insinuate.
Well, there's
that
no
my
way for
mother
us to
did.
know, but yeah.
Well, I mean, there is a way for us to know because there's documentation and photographs and doctor's testimony. So absolutely, there is a way to know.
Okay. I mean, I'll take your word for it. Then your father was a sick individual if he was physically violent with a baby.
And if that is the case, if there is like actually stone cold evidence for it, then there should not be any custody.
Yeah,
So I don't know why.
Right.
I don't know
would
why.
you want visitation?
I don't know why your mum would
I
even
would be
allow
like, if my
That's why my mom had said that she wanted me to know he existed, but she didn't want it to be in a situation where I was ever alone with him, that I could have monitored
Was there-
visitations with an agency.
was there a police report?
Yeah. There's
Okay,
all
was
of
he
that.
was he arrested? Was there
I'm
a
done, though.
prosecution?
Yes, there was prosecution.
Okay, all right then. Okay, good talk. That got abortion, child abuse. We're really hitting all the hot button issues, huh? We have a couple chats here that came in. I'm going to get to those. Apologies for the delays, guys, and I have to.
Noah donated $100.
Still more
Good
concerned
to
about
know women
ridding
are
themselves-
yet still
ridding
more
themselves of
concerned
babies
about
instead of
ridding
taking
themselves of
responsibility.
babies instead of
closing
taking
your legs, girls. Good to
responsibility.
have the whatever
Try
pod back,
closing
Brian
your
Trader.
legs, girls.
Noah,
Good
I
to
think
have the
I do
whatever
appreciate
pot
it.
back,
Well, you guys all
Brian.
said
Cheers,
like you have
mates.
very negative opinions towards deadbeat dads. But I mean, if you were to ask a deadbeat dad, which is a spin on like a man whose circumstances might not be ideal
Can we say
financially.
what we mean by that though, because when you
Like
say
deadbeat
deadbeat
dad?
dad, I tend to think somebody who is intentionally not wanting to be in the child's life, not somebody who was pushed out by the mother, or somebody who's just fallen on hard
Sure,
times
yeah.
financially, or somebody who just doesn't earn much.
Well, I think defining our terms is important here. I mean, it's probably a bit of an umbrella term that could cover some of those things or all of those
I'm thinking
things.
one of those guys who's got like multiple like different sort of women that he's intentionally sort of like not being there for. Like, you know, you see
Yeah.
this a lot in the black community with like
Well,
the single mother rate
You're
and
going to
stuff.
get canceled, bro.
Oh, it's true. It's a massive single mother. It's like 75%.
but I don't think that women would intentionally push out a man so they could be a single mother. No,
Women push away
woman.
men. Hold on. Women push away
the
men
time.
all the time. Not
Yes,
even
but
with
like-
children, just in relationships.
But I don't think that like they intentionally mean like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a single mom now. Yeah, like no one wants to be a single mom.
Or say,
no
or
one
like-
wants to be a
like,
single mom.
If a woman has like a vindictive streak about her, and she sees a way to get back at the man, say he went and like was sleeping with a younger girl, for example, and she sees a way of getting back at him as not
Wait,
letting him see the
TTS is
child.
working.
That is a very realistic situation. Happens regularly.
Well, also incarceration
Yeah.
is a big number in the black male, like in the black community. So a lot of the times, sometimes those men don't get a chance to be a father because, and then a lot of the times it's a lot of injustice in those situations.
Well, the biggest problem that you guys have got is the welfare system, because
Yeah.
since the welfare system came to be in the 1960s with Lyndon Baines Johnson, the single motherhood rate has gone from 25% to 75%, because
And-
they're actually incentivized
Yeah,
to tell the government
to
that they
tell
don't have
the
a daddy
man,
in the
yeah,
home,
that you
so
don't
they can
have a
get more
man at
money.
home. Yeah, I agree with that too.
So on the whole deadbeat dad thing, though, it's just interesting to me because if the guy, let's say he doesn't want to be a father, he doesn't want that responsibility, he's not financially in a place where he can take care of the kid, like all you guys say, these guys are clowns, but like, are you prepared? The same statements that you made about deadbeat dads, will you say that about women who abort their child? Like, you have to make the same statement. Like, let's say these women, and most abortions are not ready, just not ready, don't want to go through the pregnancy, don't want to be a mom, not financially capable. That's like 99% of abortions. You have to make that same claim about the women who get the abortions.